Just mark Johnston at the back post. That's all you have to do, Young. Boxic. It's a huge... help me! What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome back to episode number 5 of Win One Take One, here with Charlton today. A couple of huge games, a couple of games that, to be honest, if we don't win, this series might be about to go completely the wrong direction. Not the direction I wanted it to go in. Of course, the nature of a challenge like this is it's a challenge, everyone. But the idea that I could run out of players by episode 5 almost feels like a possibility at this point. Today we're going to be taking on Aston Villa. They currently sit 9th in the Premier League, but we're taking them on at home. And to be honest, I don't feel like we've played that badly. I feel like we've been rather unlucky, especially that recent game against Leicester. We were the better team in that match, but we need to get wins. If we don't get wins, I look at the games against United, Liverpool, Arsenal, and think, oh my word, this could go in a direction that I don't want it to go in. I need to give myself a buffer of players to lose. I would never normally change the system like this, but we've kind of been forced into it, to be honest. We don't have any wingers on the right wing. That said, I only have 6 centre mids in the squad. So when we're playing with 4 of them, I'm just increasing the risk that I'm going to lose more players that I don't really have enough of. Ultimately, we just need to start grinding out results. We need to start getting wins. This is the system that I think can do it for us. We're going to try and get Burley, as well as Parker and Jensen into the team. Stewart and Yule up front. They just need to start finishing. I mean, they should be good enough to finish, but as we saw against Leicester, they're just not at the moment. And I think it is a confidence thing. Maybe with Burley in behind, that is going to give them, their little added boost that they need. Anyway, today's first game is at home against Villa, as I've already mentioned. And before we get into it, we need to spin the wheel. In terms of their best players, to be honest, they've got some very good ones. But Gareth Barry does, I was going to say, stand out a little bit. I was thinking Gareth Barry would be a centre mid. But of course, back when this database is set, he's a left back. And I don't really need left backs. I mean, who else is there? Paul Merson, Ginola. I mean, maybe Dion Dublin's the answer. Maybe, he'd be sick from corners. Regardless of who the answer is, the wheel is ultimately the one who's going to determine who we're going to end up with if we win. So, well, wheel, you've been pretty kind to... The wheel's been kind to me so far. Can it keep being kind? Please don't let me down, wheel. Please don't let me down. 7.5 million. I mean, our wheel luck continues. We just need some luck on the pitch. 7.5 million gives me complete free reign of who I could possibly get, which is very, very exciting. But it comes with a caveat that we need to beat the team in 9th. Let's try and do this, shall we? So I've already talked a little bit about the team selection. There's no kind of new personalities being thrusted into the first team. It's more a case of just trying to get our best players on. I suppose the biggest change really is Paolo Matti coming in to play the kind of defensive midfielder role within our diamond. Truth be told, we don't have many great defensive midfielders. And if I lose this guy, I am losing one of my most versatile players. So the hope is that he can have a good little game for us today. Elsewhere, a lot is going to be asked of Powell and also of Young. 2 players who are very good defensively, but not necessarily the quickest kind of in the way of wing backs. So with them trying to get forward, we might be caught out a little bit. But anyway, let's get into this game. We're playing at the Valley. We're taking on a Villa team that has Peter Schmeichel in goal. It has some other big name players. Maybe a Robbie Savage is what we need to add to our kind of misfit midfield. And well, apparently a win here could climb us out of a relegation place. So let's just tell the players that. Of course, there's still a lot of football left to be played and some very tough games on the horizon. We need to win this one. We need to get some players, or it could go really badly. Early corner for them here. This is against the run of play. Very nearly goes in. Of course, with Dion Dublin in the box, you've got to be a bit wary. You saw his aerial ability on his kind of polygon. It was nuts. In terms of the actual play, you can see we're having a lot of it. We've not had a highlight yet to speak of, but apparently we're having lots of shots. Apparently the 4-1-2-1-2 is an okay match to their 4-4-2. And there's a highlight here. Lee Hendry in the wide areas. He's going to dink it in. And, I mean, I don't like this. We can have all these shots and stuff, but I need us to start having some highlights, lads. I don't want to alarm anyone, but nothing's happened in this half. There's been those 2 headers, And that's been that. Apparently, it's been an even game. We started really well. Would have been nice to see these replays of highlights where apparently we had really good chances. It's 0-0. Boys, I'm far from pleased. I say, boys, I need you to be men in the second half. I mean, both their centre-backs are on bookings, but they are having a lot of the play here. A few chances early on for us, but it's kind of changed since then, although Stewart could be through here. Stewart on his lonesome, difficult angle. Yule in support. He's going to need to pull it back. Is that a penalty? Is that a foul? Referee, are you going to do me a favour? I mean, this could be big. I don't want to alarm anyone, but this could be very, very big. VAR has given the decision. God bless VAR in 2002. It's going to be Yule to step up. Jason Yule, he steps up. He smashes it into the bottom corner. He's getting goals now. That's 2 goals in 3 games. He's back. Only 4 for the season, but look, this is what we needed. We needed a little bit of luck. We needed a penalty in our favour. We've held on in there. We've been equally as good as 9th place Villa. And I'm a bit worried that we may need a second here. So stay on the front foot, lads. We can't afford to get complacent as the ball's headed through to Lee Hendry, who's through and smashes it into the bottom corner. Oh, I mean, it's a throw-in that Scotty Parker doesn't win, and then Dion Dublin does a dummy run. He doesn't even hit it. The defenders all just stand still. Rufus, I'm going to blame you, mate. An hour gone. It's 1-1. You'd have to say they've probably been the better team. I kind of want to match them. I kind of want to go back to my roots. Craig, you're going to have to play right mid here, which I know you're not going to appreciate, but it kind of just has to be done. Konchesky can come in on the left wing for us. Parker on a booking scares me, but I just need him to be well behaved, to be honest. I just need him to be well behaved. Do not do anything silly, Scotty. Is there anyone else I want to take off? I mean, Chris Powell's on a 6.2 right now, so if we're going to lose a player, it may well end up being him. Stewart's not had a good game today, so you know what? We'll take him off and bring in Johansson. I mean, I've brought on Johansson a lot. He's not done anything for us in the games where I've brought him on and when I've played him. Maybe today's going to be different. There's 17 minutes left. Is it going to be an inspirational change? I need it to be. Ball whipped in. Gareth Barry heads it clear. Parker nods it down to Jensen. Penning them in their half. It's headed away again. I mean, Rufus, mate, if you're going to come for that, you've got to get that. Angel is bringing it forward. Not like this Football Manager. Kylie makes a big save. I thought for a second one of our defenders was about to commit a professional foul. Now we've got our own corner. It's going to be Jensen over it. He whips it in towards the near post. It's headed away, but only as far as Paul Konchesky, who hasn't really done a lot yet. I mean, I was about to say he's not done a lot. He's just done that. What was that? He's come on off the bench and hit that with his left peg. I mean, it's not often I'm lost for words. I was literally about to say he's not done a lot, it feels like, in the games we've played him in. Where did this come from? I mean, time to time waste. I mean, we've needed a little bit of luck. This could be the little bit of luck we need. Lads, just hold on. I mean, if we get another, then I can really relax. It's lumped clear, but Rufus is going to get there and head it down to Parker Jensen. Back to Rufus. I mean, there's 2 minutes left. Hold on. Young's forward. He squares it. Johansson, you've got to. He does. Come on. 3-1. And we needed that so badly. We're going to get a player. Oh, yes. Come on. The switch to the 4-4-2. I want to keep playing the 4-4-2. I hope Villa have a good right midfielder. Otherwise, we'll just play Burley out there all the time. He'll learn it. By the end of the season, he'll know how to play right mid. It's going to finish here, I assume, 3-1. There could be more. I want 4. Yule. Powell, I'm getting very excited now because I actually get to win a player. Jensen, Parker, I mean, if they score 2 in the last minute, I will cry. Just to be clear. Taylor bringing it down this right-hand side. He squares it. Angel, I mean, Kylie saves it. If that sums up the game today. Kylie's been solid. And against 9th place Villa, we're actually going to get a win. Johansson, I mean, that's a red card, referee. Get him off the pitch. Johansson could have got a confidence-boosting second goal there, and he's been denied that. And I feel a bit gutted for him. I'm proud of the lads today. Best performer, Dean Kylie. What a player Dino was. I mean, a little bit perhaps against the run of play, although we had chances. We took our opportunities. And I think that makes up for the lack of luck we had against Leicester. And with that result, I don't want to speak too prematurely here. We're in 16th, everyone. We are in 16th. Of course, that has to have the asterisks of Derby County do have a game in hand, and we've got a run of really difficult games coming up. So now the question is, who am I actually going to take from Villa? I mean, we can take anyone, I think, because every player's value is below 7.5 million. I think the logical thing is to look at what right midfielders they've got. They've got Robbie Savage, who can play right mid. He looks really, really average. So I don't think Robbie Savage is the one. Who else do they have at right midfielder? They've got Mustafa Hadji. How good is Hadji in this? Now, my scouts don't rate him, but to me, he looks very, very good. Am I just going to ignore the scouts here? I mean, I could get Ginola in, but he's got Gascoigne syndrome, where he's great, but he's not really what we need right now. The only other player who I could be maybe tempted to sign is someone like Balaban or maybe even Dion Dublin, just because that aerial ability would be so good from set pieces. I think I want to play the 4-4-2. I think I want to keep playing the 4-4. I think the 4-4-2 worked really well, even if we weren't getting results, and obviously it got us the win today. Whilst Hadji doesn't have the best crossing in the world, he gives us a body who can play there. He can also play in centre mid, which is kind of useful if we do need to go narrow again for whatever reason. Hadji, welcome to the team. Of course, he will be playing our very next game, which, if I'm not mistaken, is going to be against, drumroll please, Middlesbrough. They're currently in 8th place, knocking on the door of Europa League football, so this is not going to be an easy game, but it's going to be at the Valley, taking on Steve McLaren. It's in 3 days' time. I need to rest the players. I'll be back. We're going to win this one. Okay, so it is a midweek set of fixtures. I think everyone is playing a game. So the big teams to keep an eye on here are going to be Everton, who are taking on Chelsea, and Derby, who are taking on Arsenal. I mean, really, they shouldn't be winning. So if we could get what feels like a slightly more straightforward win, perhaps against Middlesbrough, we'd be in a pretty good spot here. So that's the aim today. If we just have a quick look at our team for today's game, we are going to play the 4-4-2, although I have just noticed... When did you get a knock, Konchesky? Didn't know that happened. Salako can't play either. Oh, this ruins the plan. Right, I think the best approach here is just to play Johansson on the left wing. I think that's the best I can do. He's got 14 crossing and he's quick. It'll be fine. Ignore his 2 agility. Of course, before we get into today's game against Middlesbrough, we also need to spin the wheel. But Hadji's there. What kind of player could we possibly be putting alongside him? Southgate's 4 million. Wheel, you know what you need to do here. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. You've let me down. That is £100,000. We've dodged the zeros so far this series. People have asked, what happens when it lands on 0? It just means that I can't sign anyone. Unless there's a player at the club worth nothing, that is what happens. The other option I did consider, maybe let me know what you think of this in the comments, is 0 means that I can take the lowest value player in the first team. Either way, we've got £100,000 to spend. That is not going to get us a lot in this team. Oh, I mean, they're all slightly on the older side of things. You know what? I could look through these players. I feel very underwhelmed by what's on offer. So with that in mind, let's just get into the game and see if we can even get a result. In terms of the team, this is the squad we're going to go with. Of course, I've had to shuffle Johansson around, but the rest of the team is a familiar cast, I feel like, at this point. Another thing that I noticed, and I might be about to jinx things here by mentioning it, ever since I stopped putting Mark Fish under the microscope, ever since I stopped talking about Fish, he's not made any more mistakes. He's actually been quite good. I do realise now that in admitting this and mentioning his name this episode, he will now have a bad game. That's how this works. Early highlight here. I mean, we're at home. We should be feeling confident. We're playing in red. It's a good colour, and Marky Fish heads it away. I mean, if we get another win here, I feel way, way better than I did after last episode. If we lose here, I mean, it could be a problem. Parker, is that a foul? No? What's happening? I thought a penalty had been given away there. My whole life flashed before my eyes. But it's been dealt with. Ocon to Whelan. He puts out to Festa, who threads through. Is that Andy Johnson? No, it's Alan Johnston. I mean, that's annoying, isn't it? I thought after the last game against Villa, against the team in 9th, we got a home win. I thought taking on the team in 8th, another home win, of course. Absolutely not. I mean, I'm not given up yet, to be clear, but I'm being very defeatist. I'm just thinking about the big games we've got coming up next episode. I'm thinking about the Liverpool, the United, the Arsenal game, all on the horizon. I need to win this game here. Jason Yule, you donkey. Hadji, the new kid on the block, out on this right-hand side, plays it inside to Yule, continues his run. Ashley Young on the overlap. Give it to Hadji. There he is. What can he do? Jensen, edge of the box, hits it. Oh, my word. It's very fortunate. The keeper's dive for the initial long shot. The ball falls to Parker. He smashes it into the opposite corner. It's 1-1 after 7 minutes. We could be in for a classic. It was a good ball by Hadji. I mean, it's very lucky, isn't it? It's very lucky. I will hold my hands up and say I am getting the rub of the green today, and I'm perfectly fine with that. That admission didn't mean Football Manager they have to score now. That's not what I was asking for. Whelan hits it wide. Whew. It's been an action-packed first 15 minutes here, and it's going to continue. It's going to continue. Young to Hadji. Rocking the number 8 shirt inside to Parker. Stewart's there. And Graham Stewart finds the back of the net. Everything is coming up Millhouse. We work it in from the right-hand side. And again, it's Hadji involved in the play. We've got a right winger who can do something, everyone. Not a bad finish by Stewart either. That's the first goal he's had in a little while. So maybe that can inspire him and give him a little bit of confidence. Okay, 2-1 up. I mean, I'm happy that we're 2-1 up, but it is lingering in the back of my mind that whoever we win today, and if we do win, of course, we have to play in the next match. And given the fact they're probably going to be a downgrade, we are just going to be handicapping ourselves for that next game. Anyway, Yule through Stewart. Stewart, make it free, Stewart. Schwarzer makes a save on this occasion. It's end-to-end stuff. It's a classic. Jensen with a free kick in the wide area. We whip it in towards the back post. The keeper misses it. What's happening in the box? They've somehow got it away, and I'm not sure how that's not ended up in the back of the net. After a very slow start, I'll tell you what, we have been the better team in this half. I think the 4-4-2 is the way. Very pleased, lads. It is only 2-1, though. So for all these chances we've had, for all these shots we've had, would like another goal or two just to allow me to relax a little. We played 15 minutes of this half. Last half, 15 minutes in, there'd been like 5 highlights. Here, nothing's happened. I'm going to take off Rufus on a booking, I think, and bring in Paramati, who has been complaining about a lack of first-team football. Elsewhere, Jason Yule, you're going to come off. We'll bring in Bartlett for him, I think. Bartlett's not really been given enough football. It's going to be with Whelan now. Fester tries to play it inside, but Paramati gets it away. Could we launch a surprise attack? Stewart's not the quickest here, but he's got men in support in the middle. One of them is Jensen. It's gone all the way through to Hadji, who hits it. Oh my word, Schwarzer makes an insane save. Still only a 1-goal game, and there's still a fair bit of football left to be played here. It's going to be Borough to Greening. Dinked over to Johnston now, who takes it down. He plays it through to Boxic. We need to defend. Greening just runs inside. Scotty Parker put in a challenge. I mean, you know what? They can shoot from there. I'll allow that. That's perfectly fine. That was not a cue, Football Manager, for you now to start another highlight. That's not what you were meant to do here. Jensen, ball forward. Bartlett, on off the bench. Bartlett, what can you do? He finds the bottom corner. Sean Bartlett, take a bow. He's done a mental celebration there that I think was meant to be a cartwheel, but only his legs moved. But you know what? I'll allow him to do mental celebrations if he's going to get a goal like that. It's not particularly pretty. We've just lumped it down the middle, to be frank. But he slotted it into the bottom corner, the number 32, and he's allowed to celebrate that one. With 5 minutes left, I'm just going to time waste just to be safe. It might feel completely unnecessary. I want to win a player. Quite who that player is going to be, I don't know just yet. I mean, if they get one now, I will start to panic. I will start to panic. Boxic is through. I mean, that's a good finish, isn't it? He's just smashed it into the top bins. I think the defending there was questionable at best. It's Paramati. Why have I brought on Paramati? I just didn't want to get a centre-back sent off. But that was awful by him. He's been complaining about lack of first-team football. He won't get any more here. It's 3-2, and now there's another highlight right away. You cannot do this to me, Football Manager, unless it's going to be a highlight for us. Stewart, could he finish it? He can! What is happening in this game? Hadji's assist there. Sensational. The new addition has had a debut to remember out on the right-hand side. Graham Stewart makes it 4-2. My heart sank for a second there as this highlight began. I'm sat thinking, they're not going to score 2 highlights in 2. They weren't. Stewart tucks it away. We've needed that. Breathe a collective sigh of relief, everyone. We're going to get another player here. What is happening? Please stop football. These highlights are getting a bit silly now. Schwarzer to Stockdale. Southgate now with the ball. It's a shame we can't win Southgate today. I didn't even really look at the players we could win because they all kind of looked underwhelming. My word, that was a tackle that flew in there. I mean, they could score here, and we could be back in the same scenario as well. Again, Summerbell, Johnston, he's already got one goal. He tries to tuck it into the top corner. It's going to go over, but they had me worried. They had me in the first half. Right, Football Manager, you can really stop doing these highlights now. This is getting silly. Is that Glenn Whelan to Johnston? I mean, it's Noel Whelan, and it is Johnston at the back. He's 4-3. Now, I probably should just go very defensive here, but I want to keep playing our brand of football. I'm not going to go defensive. That's not the work the space way. I mean, look, there's 3 minutes. Just see it out. We're time wasting as much as we can. Football Manager, are you kidding me? Stockdale has a chance. Greening. Johnston's there again. I don't believe what I'm seeing. What's happened? What's happened? I mean, Young is meant to have been marking Johnston here, and he's just not marked him for the last 5 minutes. There's another highlight. Are you kidding me? Football Manager. I should have gone on very defensive, but it's too late now. I've made my choice. I've made my commitment. He's offside. Can we have the offside given, ref? I mean, we could still win. We could still win. Jonsson. Oh, Johansson even. I've forgotten players' names. It's that traumatic today. Whelan, not. Just mark Johnston at the back post. That's all you have to do, Young. Boxic. It's a huge... help me. Fish gets it away. I mean, could we hit them on the counter here? We've played all the minutes of added time, but there could be a chance. Bartlett, he's bringing it forward. He squares it. Pollock gets it away. I'll blow the whistle now, ref. I've had enough. I've had enough Football Manager for one episode. We could end it here. I don't know what happened in the last 4 minutes of the game, but we had 4 goals and we've drawn. I'd be more annoyed if there was a good player on the line, but we have just dropped 2 points. I don't know what to say. I'm not happy. What? Did we just stop playing at the end there, lads? It finishes 4-4. Everton won. Everton actually beat Chelsea and Sickf at home. Meanwhile, Derby lost 3-0. So we are 2 points ahead of them. Fulham and Bolton are both struggling towards the bottom. It's still quite tight between the teams here. I say all of this knowing full well that our next 3 games are against United in 3rd, Liverpool in 5th, and then Arsenal. Then we have Sunderland and Bolton. Debatably winnable. Probably going to need to win both of those because after that, we've got Chelsea in 6th and Leeds in 1st. It'd be fair to say our next 7 games are not ideal. To be honest, earning a player against Middlesbrough, just giving myself a little bit of a buffer, even if it's an £100,000 player, might have been in our interest. Anyway, guys, that is going to wrap up everything from me today. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I mean, that second game was absolutely mad. I don't want to ever have to live through anything like that ever again. Hopefully, it'll be, I was going to say, more straightforward next time. I mean, it's probably going to be 4-0 to our opposition next time, so it'll be fine. If you've enjoyed today's episode, do drop a like on it, as always. I don't really know how to finish this episode after that last game. It was mad. I don't know what... How do you sum up what I've just experienced? I don't know. I'll see you guys later. Take care. We'll be back with episode number 6 in the not-so-distant future. I'll talk to you in a bit. What has happened? What has happened here?